Hey, what's up guys? It's the Nightwing at Way of Life Esports coming at you guys with another League of Legends video. Here to talk about the LCS Spring Split 2020 playoffs round 5 and 6. So basically, to sum it up, to save myself some time, I decided to just bundle up some playoff matches together. It makes things a lot more easier because it's just gonna save time. It's not about the less videos, it's about sometimes other videos take precedent. And I realized to myself during playoffs, since it's all pretty much crunch time, if I just bundle the matches together, like, you know, not say a finals, then it's perfectly fine. You know what I mean? So, yeah, let's talk about C9 versus Evil Geniuses and FlyQuest versus TSM. Most people are gonna favor C9 versus Evil Geniuses, and I am too. And I'm gonna say they're gonna win the series 3-1. But the FlyQuest versus TSM series is the series I want to tackle first because that's the series more people are interested in. Because most people assume C9 to win, and yes, I will be going over the matchup between C9 and Evil Geniuses, but to throw in a wrench in this conversation, let's go FlyQuest versus TSM first. Now, looking at FlyQuest, they easily dominated Golden Guardians. They were the weakest team in the playoffs anyway, so them beating Golden Guardians 3-0 really isn't that surprising. Now, looking at TSM and how much they kind of struggled against 100 Thieves, like it wasn't an easy matchup. Do you think coming into this matchup, things will be a lot more difficult for them? Now, 100 Thieves were third on the split, FlyQuest were about fourth, and then you have TSM who are about fifth. So since FlyQuest ended the split in fourth, TSM ended in fifth, these teams are actually more evenly matched as the standings would like to show you. But looking at how FlyQuest lost decently handily to Evil Geniuses, and looking at how TSM almost lost to 100 Thieves, super close ending. I mean, we have to look at it from several different directions. TSM obviously have proven that if you play through Dardoch, Bjergsen, and Broken Blade, you're gonna win. Kabe and Bifrost are super stable, they don't lose lane, and they always go even. But sometimes they might win lane, which will put them at a bigger advantage for TSM. Since Kabe is going supremely underrated right now, I think he's actually decently stronger than Wild Turtle. Wild Turtle's only really strong on Xayah, and I think that his other champions don't look as polished or as strong, but that could be just the nature of the champion, where Xayah does make you look a lot better than you might actually look. Looking at the top lane, you have Broken Blade versus Solo and Viper. If FlyQuest runs solo, I think Broken Blade still wins it no matter what. Broken Blade was solo killing Someday, who's supposed to be better than him, but Broken Blade, Someday, and Licorice are top 3 top laners, so that makes perfect sense. You also have a Santorin versus Dardoch. I think that this matchup could go either way. I think Dardoch's playstyle is a lot more volatile, Santorin's is a lot more controlled, but during a best of 5, I like when players can get down and dirty and obviously get their team as far as they can, basically not playing it safe, and I think Dardoch not playing as safe as Santorin does will give TSM the edge. Bjergsen versus Power of Evil. Now, looking at this matchup historically, Bjergsen's always faced Power of Evil, even going all the way back to Unicorns of Love versus TSM. It's really crazy how these guys just keep matching up. They matched up on Optic, even when Optic could have knocked TSM out of playoffs. I mean, it's crazy how much they actually face each other. Now in this playoff scenario, you have Power of Evil versus Bjergsen, a battle of the EU mids. Power of Evil on the split has actually looked insanely strong. Now, Bjergsen only has really looked good in that series, and that's not saying Bjergsen's a bad player. I'm saying that he has not looked as good as Power of Evil, and I think for the moment, Power of Evil is going to actually get the better of him, but it depends on which game and which champion they're actually playing. Looking at the bot lane, I'm still going to favor TSM's bot lane for this matchup specifically. I think that FlyQuest can beat TSM in draft because they do like to draft towards their laners' strengths, whereas TSM, they don't like to draft toward the laner's strengths, rather than just giving them champions that's just comfortable and strong in the meta. I think that that's really good for TSM and FlyQuest, but it depends on who plays the map better. I think TSM has learned to play the map better because we're seeing it from a best of 5 standpoint rather than a best of 1 standpoint, and FlyQuest from a best of 5 standpoint look much better than they do in best of 1s. It's really weird. This is a toss-up. This is going all 5 games, but I gotta give it Can FlyQuest get the revenge on TSM? Because a long time ago, when FlyQuest first came into the league, when they had High, Balls, Lemonation, and Alltech, they faced TSM in a match and they lost and they could have got to the finals. Could FlyQuest get their revenge after all these years and beat TSM in this matchup? This would help them break that 4th place curse. This would actually do that. This would put them in the finals, because remember, if TSM lose, they are out. They are in the losers bracket. I'm gonna say TSM win. 3-2. They have the stronger players. Bjergsen is literally one of those NBA players that are kind of sauce in the regular season, but then just turn it on in the playoffs, if you understand what I'm saying. The actual matchup a lot of people mostly prefer is C9 versus Evil Geniuses. Now, looking at this matchup, both teams have intel on each other. Svenskeren, Kumo, and Zeyzal have intel on C9, and then vice versa, because these players have played with each other last year. I mean, Svenskeren and Niski were literally the best mid-jungle 2v2. And then you have Zeyzal, who knows how Reaper is going to draft toward the bot lane, and then you also have Reaper having that information on these players because he coached them last year. This is a really interesting match. And I do think that Evil Geniuses have good things about them. It's just that they only really play through Jizuke. Now, in where a case like TSM or FlyQuest, they can play through Power of Evil, the bot lane. They can play through Broken Blade or Dardoch. Evil Geniuses only really play through Jizuke. That's their real win condition. And the bot lane is a safe option they can always fall back on, because they don't really... It's not that, like, they're bad. It's more or less so they're keen on going even. And that's a player like Bang anyway. He loves to go even, obviously. Now, I don't know if you personally like that, but that's just how I see it. Now, C9 have a lot of things going for them. Niski roams effectively. Blabber helps him out with that. And they obviously do it vice versa. Licorice is strong weak side, but Licorice is better than Kumo, so they get the edge. Zven and Boken have been playing much better than Bang and Zeyzal. I think that it's going to come down to draft, and I think it's going to come down to, can C9 show what they effectively showed against 100 Thieves? If C9 is the same C9 they played against 100 Thieves, then this could be where you're pretty much deciding if C9 wins the split. Because since Evil Geniuses are second and C9 are facing them in the playoffs, keep this in mind, guys. If C9 can beat the second place team, let's say they 3-0 stomp them, I don't see how they could really lose anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't see a point where they could lose to an even worse team than them. By actual definition, if they're facing the second place team and they handily destroy them, I'm just really not seeing it past that point. You know? Once C9 win this, they will be in the finals, if I'm not mistaken myself, because they'll have won 2 straight matches. And then TSM are fighting through the losers bracket, aren't they? So basically, Evil Geniuses, if Evil Geniuses lose this, they'll obviously be in the next round. Or it's pretty much a 3rd, 4th place match, right? I'm not too sure how that works, but basically, I think C9 is gonna get to the finals. And I think it's going to be against TSM. The El Clasico matchup, TSM versus Cloud9 in the finals. Calling it right now. C9 win 3-1. TSM win 3-2. I want to see the Cloud9 versus TSM, because for people who don't know, I actually went to see TSM versus Cloud9 spring 2019 when they were 2-0 up and then threw it against TSM. I want my revenge, but I don't care who we face in the finals, because we're going to clap anybody anyway. See you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe, most of all enjoy. I'm the Nightwing, and Way of Life Esports is signing out. See you guys later, and tomorrow, hashtag C9 win, baby. Let's
Hi there, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more stuff.
Yeah, thank you.